You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Sponsored in part by MB Subculture Comics and Costumes. Now your hosts, Cody Pennick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison. Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that can't think of an intro, so I'm just going to say a geek word. Batman. I'm Sam.
I'm Josh.
I'm Samantha.
And I'm Cody.
We have a great show for you this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Before we get into the news, we're going to do some things we've been checking out.
I've actually been kind of checking out a few things. Let's see here. In my video game news, I've been playing We Happy Few.
Okay, cool. Is it good? I mean, we talked about it a little bit the last time we were on.
I like it. There's a lot more survival elements to it than I actually expected.
Oh, yeah.
Like their whole starvation thing and sleeping and all kinds of stuff.
It's weird. It's a weird game.
It is weird. Like, I'm still not quite out of the garden district yet, so I'm still talking to all the downers, and you say weird things to them, like you're a crazy person.
Yeah.
When you greet them, it's awkward. Hey, that lady's cat has a weird face, and it talks to me in my dreams. It's seriously stuff like that. Like, seriously, like some Son of Sam, the dog talks to me things. So it makes me wonder if the drugged up murder people are actually the good guys.
Is this still in beta, or is it
it's
a full
still
game
early
out?
access?
Early access, that's what I meant. Yeah,
it's I think they said right now they have about maybe 50% of what they actually want to do.
Okay.
In the game,
and there's not a lot of story stuff where it is.
Well,
right
there
now.
kind of is actually if you know where to look.
Like the opening is all done.
No, you find like letters and stuff.
Oh.
Around. I've been kind of reading all the little bits of paper I find. And you find out things about like how like the government was like testing drugs on people after a war and stuff like that. It's an interesting game.
I need to put more time into it.
Yeah, I really do too. I kind of took a break because I bounced between it and playing a lot of Town of Salem because I'm a glutton for punishment.
You talked about that on here before, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of like Werewolf.
Yeah.
With more roles. Yeah, it's a good game. I definitely need to get more into it to get a fuller grasp of all the mechanics. Fighting is clunky.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so clunky. I really hope they polish that one up.
Anytime I get into a fight, it's like, whoops, I made a mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a rock. They have baseball bats. No good. No good. I've been reading a lot of comic books.
Okay, good.
I've been catching up on the Rebirth stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've been picking up a few of those as well.
Yeah, they've been piling up, and I finally sat down. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read them, darn it.
Okay, cool. Which ones have you read?
I've read the first one, like the kind of encompassing...
Oh, yeah, where they added Dr. Manhattan.
Sort of, but yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't directly seen him yet.
No, but
there are plenty of references. Mm-hmm. Though the cover of the book is very, like, new religious, kind of Renaissance painting where all the characters are stretching out and you see one blue arm coming out and touching Superman's finger.
Yep.
And then there's the fact that, Batman finds the comedian's pin embedded in the Batcave wall.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be the overarching mystery. It's him and Flash working together because they're both crime boys.
Yeah.
They're both detectives.
It was kind of weird, like, because the fact that, like, the original Kid Flash was kind of narrating the whole book.
Yeah, because he was...
dead.
Well, not just dead. He was written out of continuity from the last event, from Flashpoint.
Yeah, and they make a lot of references. Like, they make references to Flashpoint. They make references to Killing Joke.
Because they're trying to undo Flashpoint and the New 52.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
They even kind of almost spit in New 52's face in their own book.
Yep, they sure do.
Talking about the dark times or whatever.
Yeah, how this new reality is not right.
Yeah.
This new reality is sick. There's something not good with it.
They've been lost for 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, they lost about 10 years out of their timeline.
Yeah.
Like everyone was de-aged and there was a 10-year chunk where things just disappeared and things were like not connected correctly.
Mm-hmm. They even make a reference to Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, because that was kind of the begin. Well, if you want to get really technical, Identity Crisis was really the beginning of the end for the DC universe. But Infinite Crisis did a lot.
Yeah, because they
and Final Crisis.
Yeah, Wally makes a reference
to
crises.
Yeah,
it's like because Kid Flash makes a reference to the sky turning red and Barry sacrificing himself.
Oh, it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, though.
Was it?
Yes.
Right.
That was the first one.
Okay. Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Earths. Welcome to Earths. There's infinites of them.
Welcome to Earth 2.
Will Smith Earth.
Where Will Smith's everyone?
Yes.
I'd read that. Actually.
That would actually be kind of great.
I know. But it's not bad. I'm not scratched a lot of it, but I've been reading all the Batman ones,
Okay.
and it's still heavy in the whole Gotham and Gotham Girl kind of story arc,
Sure.
where it's, these two kids where they were saved by Batman when they were younger, and they somehow got a hold of some drugs or something and became superheroes.
Something like that.
It's
yeah.
weird. It's weird. I'm not completely there, but Hugo Strange, and I don't remember Calendar Man being a weird molting immortal man.
No, that's a new thing.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just remembered him being just obsessed with dates and holidays.
Yep, he planned all of his murders on certain holidays and dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden his body ages with the seasons and he is reborn anew. It's weird.
That almost sounds like an extended Solomon Grundy situation.
Yeah.
Where he dies on Sunday and is born again on Monday.
Yeah.
Every time with a different personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I kind of like Batman's new sidekick. The kid who was in We Are Robins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
And he's got that kind of sweet yellow bat suit.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of dig the design. I really like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like Gotham's costume design too, because it's like a cross between like Superman and Batman with a little bit of like old timey police uniform.
Yeah, it took me a little while to get used to the logo because it's like the Gothic font.
Yeah,
it looks like Superman's shield, but it has like the Gothic font
G in it.
G in the middle of it, and that kind of took me out of it a little bit. But
the more I look at it, the more I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Though his like extreme hero worship of Batman is kind of it's a bit much.
Yeah.
But no, I'm digging it. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Though I wait till I get into the other books I've got like I've got Hellblazer and
Okay.
Other stuff.
I'm not going to get into it here, but pick up Green Lanterns.
Really?
Yeah. They're putting out 2 Green Lantern books. One is about Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz, the 2 most recent characters, the ones with the least amount of personality. One is agoraphobic. Jessica Cruz is extreme anxiety issues and is agoraphobic. She didn't leave her apartment for like 5 years.
Huh.
And by the sheer force of her getting out of her apartment one day was enough willpower and enough overcoming great fear for a ring to choose her. And then Simon Baz he's
been a Lantern for a while.
He's been a Lantern for a while, but they haven't done anything with him. He's the one with the gun because his ring shorts out and he wants to be protected just in case. He was a Arab American who
he was a gangbanger
at one point and was detained in Guantanamo Bay for a while and there's a lot of
a bomb was found in a car that he stole.
Yeah, something like that.
And
he was a car thief.
Yeah,
and yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward.
Yeah, and they're kind of glossing over that a little bit. They're kind of actually giving him a personality outside of I was wrongfully accused.
Okay,
but
I've been kind of wanting to avoid that one.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good. And the other one, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, they're finally putting the Corps back together. And Hal Jordan is...
Oh, I'm glad they're getting the band back together.
Yeah, he is actually made out of living willpower, and he's kind of crackling apart a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, he's kind of falling apart. But
I've been picking up... I've also got Justice League.
Okay, I haven't read that.
Yeah,
but...
I haven't paid that up yet. But I haven't read them yet. They're all right. I mean, I'm getting into them.
Mm-hmm.
Writing's not bad. I like some of the subtle references to things.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Other than that, I've been probably just watching, just kind of catching up on cartoons. Like I'm going through and watching like Gravity Falls again, and
nice, nothing wrong with that.
I'm completely caught up on the newest Steven Universe stuff and Star.
We started catching up on Steven, but we haven't made it all the way there yet.
What about Star? You up there on Star yet?
No, not at all. We watched a bunch of Star.
There was a really cool couple episodes here real recently where one episode Star and Marco are babysitting Buff Frog's tadpole babies. And then the next episode, you see what Buff Frog was doing that entire time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually I kind of like the crossover.
They've been doing kind of weird stuff for this season.
Yeah, there's a lot of story building going on in Star versus like just kind of weird random stuff that's been going on a lot. Like they met another human on Earth.
Huh.
Yeah, there's an episode where Star meets the greatest warrior she ever like grew up reading about, and she seems like a crazy like Don Quixote-esque character.
Oh, nice.
Like living in a dumpster. Like
I know nothing about this show, but that sounds pretty funny. I mean, you've told me about it.
You should really catch up on it. It's really really good.
I'm going through Steven Universe right now. I pulled the first 3 seasons of it, and I'm about halfway. I watched about 2/3 of the first season about a year ago, and I'm just decided to start from the beginning again. Just kind of
that's the best way to do it,
up.
honestly.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of like subtle things you kind of forget that they like visiting on again.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's really pretty much all I've been really doing.
Okay.
Cartoons, comics, and video games.
Oh.
Because I'm an adult.
Yeah, of course, nothing wrong with that. You know what? I think I'll go real quick. Checked out a couple things. First was last Friday was Bad Movie Night down in Columbus. It was their 5-year a reunion show.
I
or
wanted to go to
anniversary
that
show.
so bad, but I've been so sick. There's no way I could.
They played Dr. Alien.
Oh, it's such a good one
It's
too.
a really good one.
It was so bad.
Yeah. They actually didn't do as much as I thought they were going to. Like, I thought they were going to like go nuts with like the
editing,
and the Matlock references, and it was a new edit of the Dr. Alien. Some of the old stuff was in there, but they added some Trump stuff. But the movie's actually really not that bad.
I mean, it's dumb.
It's dumb and it's cheaply made, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
No, I mean, Shopping Mall's pretty garbage.
Yeah, I did discover that we're looking up the movie after the show, and I discovered that it was directed by a guy named David Dakota. He is a like auteur of bad cinema. Like he pumps out like 30 or 40 movies in a year, and they're all really, really bad. But there's one that I'm going to say the title of it, and Cody, I know you're going to recognize it, and I think Josh, we all might recognize it. He directed under a pseudonym children's film starring Eric Roberts called A Talking Cat.
No.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's called A Talking Cat.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's that guy.
The
Same guy
that made Dr. Alien.
Made Dr. Alien and a
Oh
bunch
my
of other
God.
really poorly made, poorly conceived horror movies and schlock films and family films, all for like $5.95. Like whatever change he has in his pocket, that's how much he makes a movie for.
A talking cat?
With Eric Roberts, his audio sounds like it's recorded in like an airplane bathroom on a yak back. So no, I did that, and I sat and watched a documentary here the other day called Electric Boogaloo. It's the history of Canon Films. Canon Films was a production company, and a relatively good sized film company back in the late 70s and 80s, led by two Israeli guys, Golem and Globus, and they were both. Menachem Golem was a director in Israel. It was like actually one of the big names over there back in the 70s. And then his cousin was the financial guy, whatever his name, Globus. And they came over here, and everything they did was to make movies. They just loved making movies. They did not understand the America sensibilities or market or anything.
Or, how to make American cinema.
Yeah. So, and I mean, they would hire American writers and directors and stuff like that. But they started off making these really cheesy, really raunchy schlock movies, and went on, and their whole, it's really interesting, their whole business model was they would make a poster for a movie, and they would go to Europe and get it bankrolled, and then come back to America, and then film the movie that the poster was made out of, was based on. And they would do this, they would be constantly doing this, like, nonstop. And eventually it caught up with them. They were able to run almost entirely through the 80s, and eventually it caught up with them. It's kind of interesting. They're also, their biggest problem was they wanted to do movies that were too big. They got too big for their britches. They're the ones that produced Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, the one with Nuclear Man, the one where
Fight on the Moon.
Yeah. They did Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone about trucking and arm wrestling. And they did the Masters of the Universe movie, which at the time was not based on the cartoon. It just was based on the toys.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
As He-Man.
Franklin
And
Gilla is Skeletor.
this was back in the day when making a movie about toys was ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So, but no, the documentary is really good. They don't actually talk to Golem or Globus. They were both alive during the filming. Unfortunately, Golem passed away about a year ago. But it's really interesting to kind of see their rise and fall described by people that worked with them, both actors and behind-the-scenes people. It was really, really interesting stuff. It was kind of funny. One of the anecdotes was at one point the two split, and they both wanted to make movies based on the dance, the lambada, because they thought they had such a big breakout. One of their big breakout movies was Breakin', the breakdance movie, and then Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo, which didn't do so well. So they both had these ideas for the same movie, basically. and they both kind of went back and forth. Like one of the guys got the rights to like the song The Lambada, so the other guy couldn't use it. But then the other guy got the rights to use the name The Lambada, so they couldn't. So that's what they could title their movie. So the other guy had to come up with something else, and they were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And eventually they both released their movies on the same day. And the thing is, there was no culture behind the Lambada like it was for breakdancing. So no one went to see either movie, and it kind of ruined both of them a little bit. So yeah, it's just really interesting. You can find it in the dollar bin at Walmart. It's they like mass produce these, and like you could find this documentary. I would really recommend it. And the last one I have, just super quick. Last week I was in a bike race in Bucyrus, and it gave me a lot of time to get caught up on like podcasts because I was on the road for 3 hours just killing myself out there.
32 miles, right?
32 miles, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was my knees still hurt a lot. But no, it was fun. Like I said, it gave me a chance to get caught up on podcasts. And there's a new one that I checked out, which is relevant to all of our interests, and it might be for some of our listeners. It's called the Cool Kids Table, and it
I mean, it's not us.
No, it's not us, unfortunately. But you're gonna hear the premise of this show, and you're gonna think, why didn't we think of that? I'm serious. It is. There's two guys, Jake and Josh. They do a bunch of different podcasts. They do a Power Rangers one where they go through and watch every episode. They do a
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. They do a Pokemon one where they talk about different things here and there about that. They do one where they talk about weird old sports and game shows like American Gladiators and Iron Chef.
Oh man,
called Gascast Games and Sports. And this is their newest one, and it is those two guys and their friend Alan and their friends Alan and Shannon. Shannon's actually, she works on Archer.
Oh, Shannon
Maynor. Yeah. And the four of them sit down and they do one-shots of tabletop games. They just started it. They go through and they're like playing like single campaigns of like all these different like ways of, I guess, rule sets or whatever. Yeah. And the first one that they're doing, it's a tabletop system called All Out of Bubblegum. And instead of having like stats and like rolling die, well, you have one 8-sided die or whatever.
Yeah.
But you have 8 pieces of gum, and it's like based on the They Live kind of universe where you start with 8 pieces. It's a 10-sided die, and you have to roll to do anything mundane, like open a door, get in your car, drive to whatever. And the goal of the campaign is to do something super mundane. But every time you miss a roll, if you have to roll, you have to roll under the number of gum you have to get the mundane thing, or over it to do something ridiculous, like do a kick flip off of something. Instead of walking through a door, you like kick down the door and do some sweet ninja moves or whatever. And every time you miss one, you have to eat a piece of bubble gum, like a physical piece of gum, and it changes the number that you have to hit for doing mundane things and ridiculous things. And there's no like health meter or whatever, but once you get down to no gum, you run the risk of like getting trapped in a room because you can't like figure out how doorknobs work. Like things are too ridiculous. And the campaign that they came up with was based on the movie Jingle All the Way.
Oh, good night.
You have 3 people all trying to get a Turbo Man doll. And things are starting to get ridiculous. It just seems really interesting, and once that's done, they're going to move on to a different game and a different setting and a different thing.
Okay.
So it's interesting to listen to. It's really funny. So I would recommend that.
I kind of want to play. I like the premise.
Yeah.
It's weird enough that it breaks like conventional.
Yeah.
Jeez. Don't you snicker over there.
It's like you got stuck between the word consensual and the word conventional. Conventional. I did it too.
Anyway, I would say go check out that podcast. Podcasts are free, so just find it online. Yeah,
it's
cool.
What was that? Cool Kid Table.
The Cool Kids Table.
Okay,
yeah. And the art for the show is really cute. It's Shannon Maynor did it.
Oh,
really
yeah,
cool, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I got some games I should talk about since they were given to us by, the companies that made them.
Yeah, probably a good idea to disclose that for sure.
The new King of Fighters just came out.
Yeah, KOF 14.
They were nice enough to give us a copy of that to review. I think it's pretty great. I mean, it feels like a King of Fighters game.
Mm-hmm.
The character designs are cool as usual for King of Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it online, so I don't know if the netcode is bad. I've heard it's bad.
I've heard it's not great.
But I don't want to play a fighting game online. I'm not very good to begin with fighting games.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, that's what'll happen if I play it online. I mean, I played through the single player once all the way through. I thought it was enjoyable.
Cool.
The 3D models don't look spectacular, especially compared to some of the really great sprite work that they've done for King of Fighters over the years.
I feel really bad losing the SNK sprite work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, Andy Bogard looks awful. He is easily the worst model in the game.
And he's like the main dude.
No, that's Terry.
Is it Terry? Oh, right.
Andy's like the Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It's been a while since I played a King of Fighter.
Yeah.
But if it's between questionable 3D graphics and not getting a King of Fighters game at all, I guess we'll take the junky 3D models.
Yeah, from what I understand, 13 was not good at all. And it's like they're slowly creeping towards an excellent game, like a 5-star game. But everything I've seen about it, I'm excited to play it. Unfortunately, it's not on PC yet, but once it is, I'll probably pick it up. And because I do like a lot of the designs. I love Street Fighter, but I think I like the street clothes aesthetic of King of Fighters a little more.
Yeah, I've always really liked the cast of characters that King of Fighters games have.
Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that a lot of the characters in King of Fighters come from different games. You know, you have Fatal Fury, you have was it Art of Fighting?
Yeah, and there's some Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, Samurai Showdown. Yeah,
I miss Samurai Showdown.
Oh, it's a
great
great
series.
Yeah, they should make a new one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there's also that Hero Generations region.
Yes, I actually played this a little while back at Indie PopCon. I think I talked about it a little bit then. And what I played for it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I thought it's pretty cool. It's like you're a person that every time you move on this grid map, a year your life goes by, and you want to use this time that you have to build up as much fame and money as you can get before you get so old and you have to find a mate and then make the next generation a person.
Right.
And there's a whole bunch of variables to this, and you want to find a good mate so you get good stats next time around, and
right.
It's a lot of...
So it's like Pokemon breeding.
The closest thing it reminds me of kind of is Dokapon Kingdom.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is an obscure pull, but...
Yeah. I actually thought it was a little bit like Massive Chalice as well. The whole Generations...
I never played Massive Chalice.
Okay, it's a very similar kind of situation. You don't have the grid map or anything, but it's all based on generations. In that game, you're a king, and your lineage is the next is your gameplay.
Your bloodline must go on.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know if it was a bug or if I was just being dumb and couldn't figure it out, but a lot of times the maps would generate and I wouldn't be able to move into the next world, because you know how they're segmented into different areas, and a lot of times I couldn't make the transition between one area and another. Like, it would, once I'd move in there, it wouldn't let me move any direction but back out.
Huh, that's weird.
So I don't know what that was about. I mean, I couldn't find anything about it in the community info or anything.
Huh.
Of course, I was playing it pre-release. So.
Yeah. And the demo I played didn't have, it just had the one area, so I really don't know about that. So I don't know. Maybe there was an issue there.
I think it could really use some multiplayer. I think it would be really fun if it was turn-based multiplayer. Like, just the way it's set up, it feels like a board game more than it does a video game, which, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
That can be fun, and it is fun. I mean, I liked it. It just feels like something is missing.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, the game is it's being cross-released on Steam and also iOS. Like, it's an iPad game as well. And
I could see it working a lot better as a mobile game than it would on Steam.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a very, very much more pick up and play mentality. Like, and you do one run and you're done. Mm-hmm. Like, then you got to start over again from the beginning.
Right.
But it's fun. If it sounds interesting to you, pick it up. I mean, you won't be disappointed if it's your kind of thing.
For sure. Yeah.
I think the price is I hate to be that guy that complains about Steam prices, because usually when you're that guy, you're just cheating somebody out of their hard work. But $15 seems a little steep for what it is.
Okay. See, I really don't have any. I don't know about all that, but maybe because the price is up a little bit on Steam because it's also iOS, and maybe that price is down a little bit on. I don't know. I don't know.
That just seems a little steep for me for what it is. But I mean, it'll be on sale. It's on Steam. It'll be on sale.
Sure. And if they do ever put in like multiplayer, would that then make it worth the $15?
Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely would be.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it because, like I said, I met them at the con. They the two folks that run the company, they seem like really really nice people. So.
Cool.
Which doesn't influence our reviews in any way, shape, or form. But they just seem like really nice people. So, well, hey, let's go ahead and take a break here, and when we come back, we'll get into some news. Nerd Overload is sponsored in part by MB Subculture Comics and Costumes. MB Subculture is the one-stop shop for all your geeky needs, from comics and collectibles to unique custom costumes, masks, makeup, and more. MB Subculture is located at 127 South Sandusky Avenue in downtown Bucyrus, 419-562-0404, and online at subcultureoh.com. We're back. That was Ode to a Superhero by Weird Al Yankovic.
The immortal Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, yeah. He has a cartoon coming out pretty soon.
Yep. What is it called? I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I lost it.
Who's faster, your brain or my Google?
Google foo. Milo Murphy's Law. It's Milo Murphy's Law.
You got
I got it.
You got it in before the wire. I was just about there.
It's by the Phineas and Ferb guys. It'll probably be pretty good.
Yeah, it does. It looks good. So anyway, we played that because we have a little bit of news coming out of the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie, right? They've cast Mary Jane Watson, and it's an actress named Zendaya. Those who don't know, she's
the floating robot from Overwatch.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Look into the iris.
Yeah.
No, that's Zenyatta. I'm sorry.
No, she's a Disney actress. No, she's a Disney actress. She has her own show where she's like a spy or something. I don't really know.
I don't get into live action Disney shows.
I think it's called Casey Undercover, but I don't know why.
You're right. I think. Wow.
I think I read it. I think I read it somewhere in a news article.
Sure.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Nice save, bro.
Yeah. Now, I didn't know the name, but I have seen a couple episodes of it just because of work.
It sounds like we keep digging ourselves deeper.
Yeah. I have all the merchandise, but not for the reasons you think.
Those bed sheets are pretty on point.
I've only seen seasons 1 through 7, but
no. She's also been on Dancing with a Star, and that's where I really kind of, because there for a while I did watch a little bit of Dancing with a Star. I think it was the same season that Lando was on.
Oh,
Billy
okay.
D. I used to watch it for the joke people,
the joke couple,
like Jerry Springer or Cloris Leachman.
Was
Bill
it
Nye.
Busey?
Yeah.
Gary Busey.
Oh God, Busey. Yeah, Busey was on it. Oh, that was a bad one. Anyway, she was cast as Mary Jane in Spider-Man, and people are kind of losing their stuff a little bit because she's black. So what?
Yeah, so what?
Who cares? They should be allowed. This is a very touchy subject, I know, because you want to draw the fine line between being faithful to the comics, but also not being completely beholden to being totally in lockstep with
The era which those comics come from.
Well, that, and you don't want things to get too stale and boring.
Oh yeah.
You want to change some things up, and I don't see a problem with them changing Mary Jane.
No, with the modern take they've been taking on Spider-Man, why didn't the internet flip out about a young, very attractive Aunt May?
Yeah, and there actually was a little bit of that.
Not much though.
Yeah.
Not to the sheer amount of stink this has been steaming.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make a good headline either. Nerds get steamed about
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
Nerds unhappy with 60-year-old. Actually, I don't even think she's 60. I think she's like 50 or something like that. Who cares? Anyway, I think it's a good casting. She's a decent enough actress. I hope they give her red hair. I would be more upset with them not giving Mary Jane red hair than I am with them casting a
person of color.
A person of color. Because the color of the skin isn't the character. Mary Jane is iconic for the red hair.
And
Is that
let's
you guys
face
agree
it, Tiger.
with that? Yeah, well, that too. So, and it's also interesting, we're looking at getting a Mary Jane that is taller than a Spider-Man, because this Zendaya, she's like 6 foot something.
Yeah,
she's
and
tall.
Tom Holland's kind of a short dude.
He's a little guy, so
It gives me hope.
there you go.
It's a Spider-Man I can identify with.
Exactly. There you go. Awesome.
Yeah, shake up everything. I
Yeah.
mean, we didn't get a Miles, so let's get a person of color, as another main character.
Miles Morales would take too much explaining, I think, for a movie, simply because his backstory was tied so closely with. You have to have a Spider-Man. You have to have a
This
Peter
is
Parker
true.
to have a Miles Morales.
This
you
is
can't
true.
just jump straight in with Miles Morales. Unfortunately,
This is true.
So they had to have. Plus, Peter Parker's more marketable. Let's be honest.
Alliteration.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, I loved what little bit of Spider-Man we got in Civil War. It made me super excited for a new Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
And everything they've been doing so far, it looks good. I mean, we got the Vulture, a villain we haven't seen on the live-action screen
Being
yet.
played by Batman. Michael Keaton is
right.
the Vulture.
It's
He was a
Birdman playing
Batman.
Birdman.
He also was a Birdman.
And now he is another Birdman.
He is playing a literal Birdman.
Disney Marvel hasn't given us any reason not to trust them yet.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
I say yet because they'll mess up eventually.
Eventually they'll do something.
eventually they'll
because
stumble.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bound to happen. You can't just keep rolling gold.
The
like
closest
they
they came was Ant-Man. I enjoyed Ant-Man. A lot of people didn't. And I think a lot of people didn't because they wanted the Edgar Wright version.
Yeah, I liked Ant-Man a lot more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be like the super black sheep of the series.
I kind of did too.
But in my opinion, Iron Man 3 is kind of the super, black sheep of the series because Iron Man 3 is not that good.
Yeah, you want real talk? I'm more worried about Doctor Strange than I am Spider-Man because Spider-Man is an easy sell.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
knows Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Doctor Strange is an area of
He's a bit of a deep cut.
He's a deep cut, and two, he's an area of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that they have just barely touched on. They haven't really done anything with magic, really.
Nope, it's all been science and technoscience
Yeah,
and alien science.
alien science, which looks like magic, but
Yeah.
it's science. So that's going to be more of a risk than Spider-Man, I think.
Oh yeah, because Doctor Strange is going to get weird.
Oh yeah, and I'm worried it might get a little too weird for
Maybe a
mainstream
little, maybe
audience.
a little too Lovecraftian.
Well, and the director they have for it, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's primarily known for horror movies, like supernatural horror movies,
Yeah.
and like body horror movies and stuff like
Ugh.
that. So there,
hate
we
body
could run the
horror.
risk of it getting.
I love body horror.
Oh yeah, no, I.
I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, I like The Fly, but man, it makes me. Ugh.
Not a fan of this Cronenberg's.
Nope.
But no, this is good. I trust.
No,
I trust Marvel. It'll be fine. Although
Internet,
this-
shut up. It's gonna be a good movie.
Although this is still partially Sony.
They still
Yeah,
got their claws in there.
yeah, but I think it's more of a Sony's like, help us not suck.
Yeah. Well, it's like.
Most of the crew working on it is from the MCU.
Yeah, well, the way I kind of had to describe, and this is kind of funny, it's like you're sitting at the table. There's like all the writers for Sony and the director and everything from Sony are sitting at like the table discussing the movie, and you just have one guy in the back from Marvel just kind of sitting there being quiet, and they say someone from Sony says something, go, and the Marvel guy pipes in, I think it would be better if we did this. Just one guy in the back going, I don't think this is going to work out the way you think it is. Let me try to do my own thing here. It just kind of feels kind of like that. That's cool. I think that's all right.
He's the guy that does all the work on the group project.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Oh no, this is a team effort, you guys. This is a team. We're working together. But I just have these couple little things I want to make sure that are in there because
There's no I in Spider-Man. Oh wait.
Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. Okay.
There's no eye in Spurterman.
Spoderman. Okay, so moving on from movies that we kind of put up a lot of faith into to other superhero movies that we don't have much faith in. It was recently announced that the director from Gambit, the Gambit movie, what's his name?
John Gambarino.
Doug Lyman. Doug Lyman. Yeah, I like Joe Gambarino a lot better though. Anyway, Mr. Gambarino was directing Gambit. He walked off the project. The project has been having a lot of problems.
They can't keep anyone.
Yeah, but that's a Fox thing. That's not really a Marvel thing. Anyway, he is signed on to direct a Justice League Dark movie.
Yes.
Justice League Dark is pretty cool. It's all the magic heroes. It's like Swamp Thing and John Constantine and Zatanna and like all the magic characters.
Dead Man.
A lot of obscure characters that I personally care a lot about because I like the obscure characters.
Oh yeah. I like Justice League Dark. They were always really good.
Yeah. I liked them a lot better when the book was called Shadow Pact and it had
This is true.
and it had Blue Devil and Ragman and all them in it. because I think that was a better book. But anyway, it would have made a better movie too. The thing I'm the thing I'm worried about is, much like every other DC Comics movie that has come out recently, it's going to have Warner Brothers meddling like all throughout it, and
Just be extremely ruined.
more than likely. And it's a shame, because these are good characters, and this is probably the last chance like Swamp Thing will ever have to have a theatrical movie again.
Yeah.
And probably the first and last chance for a lot of these characters.
I just thought of that Onion, or not that clickhole article you sent me the other day. It was was it the Onion or
I think it
Clickhole?
was the Onion.
It was the Onion. It was that they had discovered that there was films other than the two Swamp Things films.
Just like Swamp Things are two of literally thousands of films that exist.
And the article was just about the fact that there's other movies other than the two Swamp Thing films.
Wow. That's great.
I forgot there were two Swamp Thing films.
Oh yeah, there's two of them.
I know, but they kind of meshed into one movie in my head.
Really?
Yeah.
One had Adrienne Barbeau and the other one had Heather Locklear.
Dude, it has been so long since I've seen either one of them.
They're great. I mean, they're terrible.
There's literally millions of other films, and some of them don't even have swamp-based monsters in them at all.
I don't now that I find hard to believe.
Balderdash. Puppycock.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm excited for Justice League Dark, kinda. I mean, I'm sure as soon as they start like announcing things for it in an official fashion, like screen tests and trailers and stuff, my excitement will
Subside.
drop completely.
Like Suicide Squad. Oh,
Like
that could
Suicide
be
Squad.
good.
Like Wonder Woman is starting to scare me a little bit.
Oh, shh. Don't ruin it for me. No more tears. No
The
more
that
dreams.
trailer looked good, but you know what other trailer looked good?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Do you know what else trailer looked good? To some extent, Batman. That last Batman versus Superman.
The last trailer.
The last
The
trailer,
first
yeah.
trailer was garbage.
Oh yeah, but no. If you recall when that last trailer hit, we all kind of sat here and said, maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah,
And guess what? It wasn't okay.
actually, Batman do some Batman things.
Or Batman.
Batmaning.
Yeah, it always keeps coming back because that joke was gold. I'm riding that one all the way to the joke bank.
There you go.
Make it a
Now, I want-
joke rain.
I want to know, given the trend of these Warner Brothers movies to take the source material and make it darker, just how dark is this Justice League Dark going to be?
Pitch black. It's going to be Justice League Pitch
Black
Black.
ink on a black T-shirt sold at Hot Topic.
The whole movie's just gonna be a black screen.
Just a blank screen. Yeah.
You hear sounds.
Yeah.
Do you
They're
think
really dark sounds.
Yeah.
Do you think everything will be in G major?
Just an hour of a blank screen and that just one tone over and over.
It'd be better than Batman v Superman.
True. Yeah, you got a point there. That's very true.
Hey, Swamp Thing sounded really swampy at that point.
Murky. Murk thing. Yeah, okay.
Do you think they'll reach out and maybe try to get Matt Ryan to be Constantine?
Not in a million years.
That makes me sad. I know he's voicing him for the animated one.
They want the movies division of Warner and DC wants nothing to do with the television
that show was getting so good.
It was getting good, but you're never going to see any more of that. Never again. You're done.
Except in
We can't have
in
nice
Legends of
things.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. But it's just, again, it comes back to why DC Films needs the DC TV guys to work on their movies, because the TV has been getting it so right.
Oh yeah, because the TV guys have been, for the most part,
They've been left alone.
Yeah,
to do their
they're
own
left
thing.
alone, and they kind of embrace the goofiness that is comic books.
Yeah, and that's Warner Brothers' biggest problem, is that they're embarrassed of their source material. They're so concerned with being taken seriously that they forget that, this is a goofy dumb comic for babies.
They're so concerned with being taken seriously that they come off looking like 14-year-old angsty kids that are
Edgelords.
also very worried about how serious they look.
Exactly. Yeah.
My thing is, they used to fully embrace the stupidness. They really did. Okay, look at the Schumacher Batman films.
Yeah.
Those are almost live action 66 Batman.
That's what Schumacher was going for.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his fault.
No, I blame Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
I blame the success of the Dark Knight trilogy.
And the failure of Green Lantern.
Yes.
Because Warner Brothers looked at that and went, Green Lantern had color and a little bit of levity, and that didn't do well. Christopher Nolan's were practically black and white, and everyone was sad and dour and angry all the time, and that worked. So that is what they're applying to all of their properties.
And don't get me wrong, I love The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is literally one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It's good. It doesn't work for everything in their catalog.
It doesn't work for Superman. It shouldn't work. It can't work for Flash. It can't work for Aquaman, although they're trying really hard to make it work for Aquaman. I don't know. We've talked about this a million times. We're starting to talk into circles, so we got to move on. But I'm cautiously optimistic for Justice League Dark, but it's probably going to suck.
I don't think I'm even like really cautiously optimistic anymore. Like I was cautiously optimistic. God, I cannot talk today. Of Suicide Squad, and it let me down.
Yeah, I'm still willing to give them the benefit of the doubt because I like the characters more. To be honest, I'm a DC guy. I like DC characters more than Marvel characters. I always have.
It almost feels like Warner Brothers is kind of taking the lessons bit by bit. Like it's a slow incline.
Yeah, unfortunately, that slow incline is going to bite them in the butt on the way out because by the time they finally figure out, oh, this is what we need to do, this is what people want in their superhero movies, the trend's going to be over.
Oh yeah, we're going to be in like Avengers Phase 10.
Even if we go that far. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if once Marvel Studios and Disney is never going to stop making superhero movies, but I have a feeling once they get through the major Avengers movies and get everybody in for one big movie, all the characters in one giant movie, they're going to back off for a while because they're you can see the trends. You can see how superhero movies are a little bit, they've plateaued and they're getting dangerously close to the decline of interest.
That and the bad Warner Brothers ones hurts everybody.
Yeah. Maybe that's secretly Warner Brothers' big gambit. They're going to spend all this money to make purposely bad movies to wreck Disney and Marvel.
I wouldn't give them that much credit.
Long con.
Yeah, they're playing the long con. Yeah,
the longest con. I get it. I hear a lot of people talk to a lot of people, and a lot of are tired of the superhero trend.
Yeah,
kind of like how people were tired of vampire movies.
Heck, I'm getting tired of the superhero trend a little bit.
Yeah, and I love superheroes.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get back into the golden age of sci-fi days.
Oh yeah,
I'd love some good sci-fi. Movies.
When Star Trek Discovery comes out, I'm gonna be like,
yeah, that would be great. That's going to be great.
Oh, yes.
I hope it's going to be great.
It better be great.
It better be great.
Hey, at least it'll be on Netflix.
Hey, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple of quick hits here before we're done. Last weekend, or I guess this was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago? Yeah.
2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago was Power Morphicon, the yearly Power Ranger convention out in Pasadena, California. I swear someday I'm going to get out there to see it.
I'd love to.
That would be the best. This is the 5th year that they've done it.
It's like Mecca for you guys.
It really is. But this year they announced the cast for the next season, the next iteration of Power Rangers Ninja Steel. It's another ninja season.
I figured the next one would be trains.
Yeah, you would think that. Yeah, well, that's for those of you who don't know, they're skipping a season of the Japanese show between the dinosaurs that they have this year with Dino Charge and Ninja Steel. There was a secret other season that was all about bullet trains and rainbows and imagination. It was really funny, but there's no way it would translate to American audiences. Like zero way it would work. But no, they announced the cast for Ninja Steel, and I don't have the cast list up in front of me. But the reason I wanted to bring this up was the Blue Ranger for this season is a guy named Yoshi Sudarso.
Zdarsky,
yes. Yoshi Sudarski. He's got a weird sense of humor. No,
and a really long tongue.
Nice. I got that. No, he was he was a stuntman, a fitness guy, and he loved Power Rangers. And his lifelong dream was to one day be a Power Ranger on a show. So that's kind of what his life goal was. And for the last 2 years, he's been living the dream. And he has a younger brother named Peter, who is also a stuntman and kind of followed in his older brother's footsteps. And like you do. So fast forward to this Power Morphicon, and they were doing this gimmick where all the names of the new Rangers were like in envelopes, and they had the previous cast like open up an envelope and read off the name. You can probably see where this is going. So, you go through and you read all the names and whatever. And it gets to Yoshi, the current Blue Ranger. He opens up the envelope for the next Blue Ranger, and it's his brother. It's his brother Peter. He had no idea. They left it a complete surprise for him. And there's video and pictures online of the two of them just freaking out. And it's really great to see that much joy and that much excitement. It's just kind of awe-inspiring. It's
Didn't
really
the
kind
new
of
cast come out in their costumes?
They did, and then the Blue Ranger took off his helmet, and
it was John Cena.
Nice, perfect, nailed it. But no, it's just
yes.
But no, it was just a really nice, happy moment.
No, it sounds. I really need to find that because it sounds great.
It was really cool.
I mean, you sent me a bunch of pictures from Power Morphicon, and I got so excited. For,
oh yeah, all the new toys.
Oh,
that Legacy Power Sword.
Yes,
the Red Ranger Power Sword. That thing looks awesome.
I know. I want
it's gonna be like $300.
I want it on my wall.
Yeah,
I think I want it on my wall more than that black Saba.
Heck no, I want to walk it around.
Well, yeah. Oh, you're gonna walk it around. You can put it on a leash. Take it on sword walks.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Sword walks.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it in my little red wagon and pull along with me. No. But no, along with they did a whole bunch of other Power Ranger stuff, and it was a really cool weekend. I guess they had almost the entire original cast from Zoo Ranger, the Japanese.
Oh,
yeah, all of them except for the blue. Blue was the only one that wasn't there, but they made up with it by bringing in the Red Ranger from Die Ranger the next season that no one really knows about. But it was cool to see all of them together, and they had a bunch of toys and stuff.
It's nice to see the Power Rangers people embracing their Sentai roots.
It's cool. It's cool to see them embrace the Sentai, and it's cool that a lot of the actors for a long time there was a stigma of the actors from the show where they didn't want to be associated with the show. And it's kind of cool that it's kind of looped back around to the point where
they're excited about it.
Everyone's excited about it. Everyone's happy about being part of this weird thing. And I guess what it took was it hitting its 20-year mark, because the show's been on for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to think about. It's scary to think about.
It really is.
A lot of Power Rangers people have gone on to CW shows now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not much of a stretch.
Well, no, Rose McIver's she's a legit actress.
Yeah,
now.
she's a really
super
good actress.
legit.
Oh yeah.
She plays it practically a different character every day on iZombie.
Mm-hmm.
And nails it every time.
Yeah, and the Red Ranger from RPM was in Jessica Jones. He was the drug addict friend.
Right.
The curly-haired Afro guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the Red Ranger.
Yeah, he was.
For that season.
I really
He
enjoyed
was-
his character.
He
in
was
that
really
show.
good in that. Yeah, and I mean, JDF is still around. Everybody.
What does he do? Well, he goes to conventions.
He goes to conventions, He's professionally JDF. He's got to make money to frost those tips, man. That man is perpetually living in the year 2002.
He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was younger, Green Ranger was one of my favorites.
Oh, he was the coolest.
But
he was the absolute coolest.
I mean, yeah, you had Godzilla for a Zord.
Yeah.
It was dope. But as I've gotten older, I'm like they say, never meet your heroes.
He was all right. When I met him, he was cool.
I mean, yeah, he was nice enough to talk to you and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, some of his
Talk to the show.
some of his his online interactions and the way he talks about past Ranger actors and things like that.
There's some drama there that I think is stirred up just by him in order to try to keep his relevance.
It's like he's holding a grudge. And some of the others just don't care.
He bought into the hype, from what I understand.
Yeah.
He bought into the hype because he came onto the show and was immediately the most popular one. And
because he was the Special Ranger.
And, part of that is him buying into it, and part of that is Saban brands feeding into that. But it's the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, let's get off this
Very
topic.
special episode of Nerd Overload about the Green Ranger.
Also, he has a super red, post Power Rangers Turbo, headshot when he was trying to be a legit, serious hardcore actor. I showed it to these guys before the show. Go on his Facebook page and look at it. It's JDF with, the longest... he looks like a desperado. He looks like Lorenzo Lamas Jr. sitting on a motorcycle with his crappy goatee and super long hair, trying to be all hard and I know I'm not a Power Ranger. I'm I'm a serious actor, action star. No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to discount his athletic prowess or his ability to be a martial artist because he is. He's good at that.
Hey, he broke the world record of breaking boards in half while also jumping out of a plane. I don't know why that needs to be a record, but he did it, and that's awesome. I'm happy for him.
Or anyone else? Or did anyone else attempt the record?
Yeah, no, there was a record prior, which means there was someone else had the
own?
idea.
Was it his own?
It might have been actually.
Let's do Rocko.
Yeah.
Remember Rocko's Modern Life? The old
that weird Nicktoon?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
a wallaby?
I love Rocko.
Yeah, not Ren and Stimpy, but the other one.
Yeah, Rocko.
The good one.
Yeah. They're doing a TV movie of Rocko.
I'm excited for that. That's awesome.
The original creator, Joe Murray, is involved,
Good.
which you would need
You
that.
would have to have it.
Behind the Tunes, Rocko's Modern Life.
I couldn't see them hitting the right tone without him being involved.
Yeah. But I loved Rocko's Modern
Yeah,
Life.
that's my favorite of all the Nicktoons. Is
Absolutely.
Rocko.
It's up there for me. I watched the crap out of it, and I reference it a lot in my daily life.
I love going back and watching and catching all the adult humor that they threw in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gold mine.
The choky chicken. There was that one episode where Rocko was working at a sex call line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his job for a while.
His neighbor's nudist party in the backyard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, Rocko.
Mrs. Big Head.
Yeah, you sound kind of like the Emperor when you do it, though.
Yes.
Do it. Rocko, do it.
Execute Order 66, Rocko.
That episode about the animation where it was very clearly about the animators' frustrations with working in animation.
That's my favorite episode, the Wacky Deli one.
Yeah. that
Oh,
was great.
right. Yeah, because it was the Big Head's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a show called The Fatheads. Mm-hmm. And because he hated his parents. And he hated his success.
Yep.
Shoot.
I am the cheese. I'm the most important character on the show.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Filbert was great. I love the story behind them introducing Dr. What's her name? Have you ever heard of this? I forget.
Yeah. They wanted a female character with a hook.
Yeah.
And they drew a female character with a literal
With
hook
a literal
for a
hook
hand.
hand. Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah,
love
she's
that
a dentist.
Yep.
Dr. Hutchinson.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Jeez. Or when Rocko meets Heifer's family.
Oh, yeah, the wolves.
Yeah, he was adopted by a pack of wolves.
They were going to plump him up to eat him, and then decided to keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The episode where Heifer moves out and moves into the spinning bucket.
On top of the choky chicken.
On top of the choky chicken sign. Yeah, that was great.
Or the one where Rocko goes to the movie theater and the uniform shirts for all the movie theater people are the same shirt he wears.
Oh yeah,
And everyone thinks he works there. Mm-hmm. It was like a commentary on like how awful theaters can be, with like pricing and concessions. And
That's a lot of the formulas for Rocko episodes is just satire on how awful whatever this thing in your modern life is.
Yeah. It was great, and
yeah, it's a very smart.
About the B-52s, and that's great too.
Yeah,
it's a very smart show, actually.
It was very smart.
We
It was
should have
ahead
played
of
a
its time.
B-52 song.
We probably
for this
should have. Well,
episode.
next week we'll do B-52s. but I'm glad they're doing the a movie. I'm glad that Joe Hill is, or whatever his name is. Is it
Joe Murray?
Joe Murray. Yeah.
Joe Hill is
Stephen King's son.
Right.
Yeah.
But like Nickelodeon's been really like hard up, like going back in time with their whole nostalgia kick
Yeah.
on their Nicktoons.
Well, we're the age.
This is true.
Yeah.
I mean,
We are the age where we enjoyed it as kids, and now, in theory, we
Our
would also
children.
have kids that would be that we would be getting into the things that we were into.
I'm sure the mouse in my kitchen would like to watch it.
Well, you should name him Rocko.
No, I'm not going that far.
Oh, come on.
I'm trying to end that little jerk.
He's practically a pet by now.
Nope. He's the devil.
I heard that the next SpongeBob movie is going to get a Ren and Stimpy short in front of it too.
Oh, it is.
by
Oh.
John Kay.
Oh, great. That's cool. That is very cool.
Was that at the thought of another SpongeBob movie?
Kind of an A and kind of a B. As I've gotten older, I've realized I do not care for Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, I still love Ren and Stimpy.
I didn't care much for Ren and Stimpy when it was on originally, actually. I don't know why, it just never
I
clicked with
think
me.
it's the art style. I hate it.
No, it
Oh,
wasn't-
the animation is brilliant.
I thought the animation was great. It was the repetitiveness of Ren and Stimpy that kind of got me a little too much.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same every episode.
Yeah. Then again, I guess I watched the Happy Happy Joy Joy more than anything else.
yeah,
And it seemed like that was always the one that was on
That's
when I
my
would try
favorite.
it.
That's my favorite episode.
I mean, I did like Powdered Toast Man.
Yeah, that was all right.
I mean, I don't really care for John Kay all that much. He's kind of a creepy garbage man,
Yeah.
but he's a great artist. Like he's
I
a
do
great animator.
I do love his art style.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up here. You've been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us at Facebook at facebook.com/Nerd Overload website.
You can email us with any questions or concerns at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can tweet at us at nerd_overload and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nerd Overload TV, is
That's-
what that is called.
That's right. And we're also on iTunes and Stitcher. So, again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Peace out.
This show was sponsored in part by MB Subculture Comics and Costumes.